And welcome to the Marcus and Mike Show, guys. I am Mike. My man over here to my left-hand side, ESPN San Antonio's own Marcus. How you doing today, man?
Hey, what's going on? Pretty good. What's going? Yeah, everything's good in here in San Antonio.
It's a beautiful day here in southern Indiana as well. And I didn't forget about this, but I forgot to say it on the show.
Okay.
Saturday, July 13th, was Tyler Skaggs' birthday. The pitcher
Yeah.
that died for the Los Angeles Angels, that died
Right.
in Texas a week or 2 weeks ago. Um, the 7/13 was Tyler Skaggs' birthday.
Right.
The last time the Angels threw a no hitter was the day he was born, July 13th, 1991. The
Right.
Angels scored 7 runs in the first inning, had 13 hits. 7-13, his birthday,
Right.
and his mom threw out the first pitch of the game, and they all wore 45 jerseys and took him off and put him on the mound. So the ultimate way to honor this kid, everything fell in line for the Angels. If you guys do not believe in a higher power, this is just a coincidence or whatever. I don't,
Yeah. Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
you want to say. It was crazy how everything lined up and like how the Angels could honor their fallen
Yeah.
player like that last week. So hopefully he is not hurting anymore or anything like that. I have not read anything into what caused his death, uh, so I don't really want to know.
Yeah. They
But
haven't said anything on that, right? We haven't
yeah,
got any clarification on
no,
what happened,
yeah.
huh? Nothing.
But shout out to the Angels for honoring him every way they could, that particular way. So let's go ahead and move past that. I don't want to bring
Right.
anybody down today.
Okay.
NFL season is here tomorrow. Players start reporting to camp. Uh, and I want to start with camp right there. Ezekiel Elliott has come out and said he is threatening to sit out training camp for the Dallas Cowboys if he does not receive a long-term contract or a contract period. What are your thoughts on Zeke pushing the envelope about getting a contract?
Listen, I understand that running backs have a short, lifespan in the NFL, and so that's I usually, I'm for any player, usually getting paid and all that, but I think Zeke's a little crazy here with the stuff he's, just a knucklehead he's been in the off season. He's very fortunate, that he didn't get suspended by Roger Goodell. That actually surprised me a little bit. I thought he was going to get at least a game there. Um, Man, he's got 2 years left on his deal. I think it's a little early to blow it up. Also, he's the fourth overall pick in the draft, so he's getting. It's not like he's getting. He didn't get Dak Prescott money.
Right,
Okay,
right,
the
right.
fourth overall pick. I mean, I think he's getting like 7-8 million this year. It's going to go to 9 million next year. So he's getting a $500,000 each time each game check. So Dak's getting that for a whole season. He's getting that in a game, pretty much. So it's pretty amazing the difference in paychecks there. But I think he's a little crazy. And here's the one player, and I know this Dallas Cowboy fans might think I'm crazy because he is the engine that makes everything go a lot of times with the way it looks out on the field. I'd play hardball with him. I really would. It's too early for the contract stuff. I've got to let him know that I've got to take care of Dak Prescott and Amari Cooper, and then Byron Jones is on the horizon.
Yep, yep.
So I've got to play hardball with him this year. I really do. I mean, if he wants to get paid, that's a lot of money to walk away from and not get paid. I hopefully I take care of him, and if all things goes pretty well, I take care of him next year maybe with a year left. But Dallas is in absolutely no position to help him at all. The way the NFL collective bargaining agreement is scheduled and the way it is, um, they've got him for 2 more years. At 7 million, then like 9 million, and then they can franchise him for 2 years. Which, man, he'll make a lot of money. His game checks will go to $1 million a game, if you can believe that. So Zeke really shouldn't worry about it. It's weird, Michael, because they're probably going to franchise tag him if they don't get a deal done in the next 2 years, and so they could franchise tag him twice. I'm just is not coming to my head right now. I'm just thinking about that 7 million this year, 9 million next year, 16. Then it'll be probably two 16s. The first franchise tag, the second franchise tag. That's
Yep.
32, 39. Basically, Zeke right now is playing like on a 4-year, $46 million deal.
Right.
You know what I mean? If they franchise tag him twice. So the Cowboys are in no position to, or they're not really backed up into some kind of corner where they have to take care of Zeke Elliott this year. They've got to worry about Dak Prescott. That's weird that hasn't gotten done yet. And they've got to worry about Amari Cooper, and that hasn't gotten done yet either. So they're in no hurry to get Ezekiel Elliott his money. And I wouldn't either as a franchise. With 2 years left on his deal, I've got to let him know again. Let me reiterate that we've got other players. And if you want to be on a good team with these guys, your boys, we have got to take care of the other two first. And then you're going to be third. And that's all there is to it. And I play hardball with Ezekiel Elliott this year. I mean, he doesn't show up, then you're not going to show up then. And your teammates are going to be looking at you like, dude, you're the 4th overall pick in the draft. Your game checks are $500,000. It's near Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell missed $500,000 every time. So Le'Veon Bell missed $8 million last year. Without, good luck, good for him that he can miss that. A lot of us can't. Ezekiel might be able to afford that, but there's a lot of players that are gonna be like, dude, you're not making peanuts here, man. You're making in one game $500,000 what some guys make, through the whole year, just on minimum deals. And I think Le'Veon Bell's a couple of his offensive linemen called him out and said, hey, man, you're messing up our money, because what happens is they don't do as well. The Steelers don't do as well, and the offensive line doesn't get paid. So, you got to come in and honor your contract. And it's just way too early, in my opinion, for him to be doing this. I think it's silly. And Dallas Cowboys are under no pressure to get Ezekiel Elliott's contract done. Yeah. They could literally have him for the next 4 years if they wanted to.
Yeah, you are 100% right. He has not earned the quote-unquote right to sit out any training camp whatsoever yet. I mean, like, if he doesn't want to show up just because he doesn't want to put the wear and tear on like on his body, I can respect that, I guess. But to say that you want a contract, that's a totally different ballgame here. And we've seen it in the NFL. Running backs are a dime a dozen. You are not that important. I'm sorry to say. I mean, yes, Ezekiel Elliott is a very good tailback. I will give him that. He's probably 3 or 4 in the league. Yes, I give him that. But this is his first contract. He has not earned the right to say, I want this, this, and this, and this. And we saw it the first, 5 or 6 games of the season. He cannot solely carry the team on his back. He has to have Amari Cooper. He has to have Dak Prescott to succeed the way he did in the second half of the season. Because I can't remember the stats off of my head, but he was only averaging like 40 or 50 yards those first six or 7 games of the year, and then once Amari Cooper came on the team, offenses got spread out. The defense, doesn't have 8 guys in the box anymore. He is able to get 80, 90, 100 yards a game. So that shows me that he has not earned the right to demand a big contract or any contract. He has not earned the right to sit out a training camp, preseason games, or anything like that. Play this year out. Show me that you are worth the $15 million contract. That I'm assuming that he wants, since that they they all want Le'Veon Bell cash now. The $15-16 million a year. Show me that you are worth that. Lead the Dallas Cowboys to a Super Bowl championship. Get 1,800 yards, 17 touchdowns. Show me that you are worth the money. Then you can have the right to sit out a training camp. Until then, show up, do your work, and shut up.
No, I agree to a certain extent with you. I mean, also show me that in the offseason you're not going to be out at 4 a.m. with with a girl that's half dressed and just not knocking down a security guard, even though that's another stupid subject. The security guard didn't want to press charges. He was fine, and then now he's come back. He wants to press charges. If I was a judge, I'd throw that out, to be honest, and say, get out of here. You had your chance to press charges, and so now we're not going to press charges. You're fine. You're not in any harm or anything like that. So you're going to be in harm by all these Dallas Cowboy fans sending you threats. Now you just opened up a whole other can of worms by being a punk now, and now you're going to press charges. That's a whole other thing. But but Zeke Elliott can't be doing that. I mean, he's got to. I know, he's only 24 years old, and at 24 we all did some crazy things, but
he's a professional athlete. They're held to a higher standard.
You have got to know better than that. So listen, running backs are a dime a dozen, Michael. I agree with you 100%. But Ezekiel Elliott is an exception to that rule. He's not a dime a dozen.
You're right.
This guy is a flat out beast. He's a monster. I mean, this guy's worth the money. That being said, though, it's too early on his contract to be saying he's going to hold out and all that. And then
he might be worth the money. So let's say he is worth that money. But if year in and year out we have to deal with these off-season issues every year, I'd rather get two tailbacks back there for half the cost that can do the same work that you were doing.
Listen, I understand your point. You make very valid points. And then it's funny is Melvin Gordon, is threatening to hold out, and then it's almost like Zeke took a cue from Melvin Gordon, because there's a few days later now we heard Zeke's gonna hold out, and Melvin Gordon, that situation, dude, you're nowhere near Ezekiel Elliott, and you know what I mean? You're the 15th overall pick. I think Melvin Gordon. I think he's had 2,000-yard seasons, and they were barely above 1,000. I think they're in that 1,100 range. So the fact that Melvin Gordon's holding out is kind of ridiculous to me. He's another one.
I don't think he has played a full 16-game season either. So
dude, he's a good running back. He's not on Ezekiel Elliott's level. I think he's gonna make $5-6 million this year as well. So let's, I thought that was crazy when I heard Melvin Gordon's going to hold out. I mean, San Diego. See, Dallas is a little apprehensive because Ezekiel Elliott may be the best running back in the league. Ezekiel Elliott missed 6 games in his career so far, and still nobody has rushed for more yards than him in that span, a 3-year span, or however long. It's ridiculous what Ezekiel Elliott, the productivity that he's given the Cowboys. I get all that. Melvin Gordon's not even on that level at all. So he's holding out. It's kind of weird. I mean, dude. So Zeke does have a little leverage, because he is that special back. But I wouldn't listen. I'm on the phone, and I think Jerry Jones is like this. I cut out all the middlemen and stuff like that, because Jerry Jones is a good guy. He's a family man. He talks to these players on a daily. He's one that wants a family atmosphere with the Cowboys, even as dysfunctional as they are from top to bottom. And he hasn't been that great of a general manager. Thank God that Will McClay and Stephen Jones have taken the reins from him the past 3 years. Otherwise, I don't know where we'd be. We'd be with Johnny Manziel and no Zach Martin. That's crazy.
Right.
Yeah, Will McClay and Stephen Jones convinced him, hey, dude, we're not drafting Johnny Manziel. We're gonna draft Zach Martin. And man, has that been Zach? Have you ever looked up Zach Martin's stats? He's on his way to Canton. The guy hasn't missed a game, and not only is he a Pro Bowl, he's an All-Pro every year.
Yeah.
So, dude, he's on his way to being the next John Hanna. So they made the right choice there. So I'm glad that. But Jerry Jones is a good dude, and I think that he will call. He's got to get on the phone and call Zeke, or have him come in and say, hey, look, I understand your agent is pushing for money. I know you want it, but look, let me tell you something. You mean a lot to us. Stay out of trouble. If you want, you made a great point. We were 3-5 with you in the lineup last year until we got Amari Cooper. So let's hold up on that, man. You need Amari Cooper, and you need Dak Prescott to be successful, don't you? Right? So we need to get their deals done. They're taking precedent because where you were drafted, in terms of, you still have 2 years left on your deal. So Let's stop the holding out stuff. We're gonna take care of you. We love you. This is how Jerry Jones talks to him, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, I know this for a fact. He talks to them just like how I'm talking to you. And he said, "We got you, Zeke. Stay out of trouble. We're gonna take care of you. Just don't do this. We got to win the Super Bowl this year, and then we'll figure out things from there. But we've got to take care of Amari and Dak first, and you're third. You and Byron are third and fourth. However that, yeah.
You said a very key word there. Win the Super Bowl. Win the Super Bowl, then worry about getting some money. So just win, baby, win, as Al Davis always says.
Or at least make it to the Super Bowl. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just make us Cowboys fans satisfied, proud to be put on me, like I'm proud to wear my cowboy hat like everywhere where I go. But let me pump out my chest a little bit, like, hey, we're in the Super Bowl. Even the NFC Championship would be satisfying to like me. But
yeah, that's true. We haven't played an NFC Championship game since I was 3 or 4 years old. But so that would be a little satisfying. But we got to pay back those Rams, man, for that game last year. And well, I think you got to get to the Super Bowl. I really do. The hell with the NFC Championship game. Dallas has a top roster, like in terms of 1 through 22. Their starters are as good as anybody in the league.
Better than everybody.
We're young. It's funny that the Cowboys have the best young roster in football. I think they were voted by Pro Football, some magazine or something, the best roster in football. I think their average age is like 26 years old or something. And so that's amazing because Jason Witten just brought that age up a whole year.
Right.
Like by coming back. He's the old man. I need to get to a Super Bowl. The hell with the NFC Championship game. I'm not joking.
And it is hard to fathom that our weakest link is our head coach. I mean,
golly, yeah, it is crazy.
That is hard to wrap your head around. So
it is hard to wrap your head around. Man, yeah, I mean that's a whole another can of worms that we can go on that forever. But I'm just picturing NFC Championship in the Superdome, and that crowd is crazy, and Dak Prescott has the ball down 4 with 2 minutes left at the 30-yard line, got 70 yards to go to the Super Bowl.
That win alone would earn Dak Prescott his.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. He wins that game and gets to the Super Bowl. Even if they lost the Super Bowl, everybody would get paid because the Dallas hadn't been in a Super Bowl in so long. I take that back. Sometimes we can't get our butts kicked in the Super Bowl. Let's not get crazy. Now, the team we're about to talk about, New England, can't beat us 38-0. I mean, it's got to be a competitive Super Bowl. So.
Is that a foreshadowing you're picking Patriots in the Super Bowl?
No.
Okay. All right.
I'm just saying, though, hey, it's hard to count those.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm about to use a cuss word here. Those mother effers out, man. I'm so sick of them, man. Like, it's just, man, they
pump
keep
the brakes a little bit, and we will get to that subject here right after we talk about this 18 NFL game season. Just like you said yesterday, and the person didn't put their name on this. Like, I read articles trying to find his name, but there's not a name to be found. But there was a proposal for an 18-game regular NFL season, but 2 of those games you have to sit out. So just like Marcus alluded to yesterday, you have to be in street clothes, no helmet, no pad, not even on the active roster for 2 games in the NFL season. Let me start off right off the bat and say that's freaking asinine. But let me hear your thoughts on that.
Listen, I'm with you. I think it's the craziest, stupidest, asinine, whatever words you want to come up with.
Asinine, Asa 10, Asa 11, Asa 12, right?
Right. But see here, that half of me thinks that it's funny, and the other half of me thinks, man, eliminate 2 preseason games because I hate those things. And then a part of me wants to see the coaches scramble. As much as they have everything to think about, now they've got to think about, okay, damn, we're gonna hold Dak Prescott out of here against, the Cardinals. I don't even know if we play the Cardinals this year. I gotta look it up. But we're gonna hold them out. Whatever you have the Cowboys schedule in front of you. I don't know if I do or not. Well, we're gonna hold it. We're gonna hold the. Yeah, I think I do have it in front of me. We're gonna hold the let's see here, at Detroit. No,
Buffalo
Buffalo,
Bills.
November
Yep.
28th on Thanksgiving. Dak, you're not playing. Cooper Rush, this is your game against Buffalo. Buffalo's got a good defense. This would be crazy. Um, and then you've got to and then you've got. I mean, everybody has to get a 2-game rest now. So now you're going, okay, we're playing Detroit. You tell Zach Martin or Travis Frederick, hey, Detroit doesn't have a good interior. We're Looney, you're in. Connor McGovern, rookie, you're in for Zach Martin. So I mean, that would just cause a mass headache for coaches to have to like make sure that all 53 of his guys do load management. And then there's no way they'd have to open up the rosters. You could not play with 53 then. It would have to be like a 65-man roster.
Yeah, they would have to have it so you can bring players up and down as much as you can onto the active roster from the practice squad. Maybe not open up the 53-man roster, but instead of those 12 practice squad players, open it up to like 20, just so those guys are prepared to jump in. So I got to not think about that aspect of it, of the coaching circle or the GM circle, that you have to plan for those two games. I was thinking it from a fan standpoint, I'm paying $120 to go sit in the nosebleed section at the Dallas Cowboys Buffalo Bills game Thanksgiving Day, and I don't get to see Zeke, I don't get to see Amari Cooper, I don't get to see Dak. I will be pissed off. I mean, I went there to go see those guys, and they're sitting on the bench in street clothes.
I'm with you though, Michael. But look, there's no way you're even if against Buffalo, you're not going to hold out all 3 of those guys. So
but I'm saying so let's just say we have the number 2 seed locked up. We can't go up and we can't and we can't go down. And we're playing the Philadelphia or the Washington Redskins week 17. Dak has to sit, Zeke has to sit, Zach Martin has to sit, Amari Cooper has to sit. And I paid $120 to see that game, thinking that this is going to be a great game, and I want to be an upset fan. I mean,
I get you.
Very upset.
No. That makes total sense, but they do that anyway now, though. In terms of, if let's just say Dallas is 13-3,
right,
and there's 2 games left, and you have Philadelphia the final game, and it's like, we already won the division, we're the 2nd seed anyway. They would hold those players out anyway.
But
to be honest,
but they will still be in pads and helmet. So if push comes up, if push comes to shove, Cooper Rush, he gets hurt, Dak can go in there and play. You still have the opportunity to see them on the field at some point. But just setting up 2 full games, that's just crazy to me.
It is crazy. You could literally, you know what? Can you imagine doing a show a couple of weeks later and going, damn, we missed the playoffs? And I'll use Cowboys as an example. Yeah. No, I'm going to use the Texans as an example. Ready? We missed the playoffs because we went 12-6.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's a pretty good record. But you could miss the playoffs like that. Somebody else tied you 12-6 that you lost to. We missed the playoffs at 12-6 because we had to sit Deshaun Watson for A.J. McCarron. And AJ went, and Deshaun Watson was having this MVP year. If Deshaun Watson could have played all those games, we would have went 14-4, and we would have had the number 1 seed. So we went from 14-4 to 12-6 out of the playoffs.
Yep.
Because AJ McCarron lost both those games because he threw game-ending interceptions. We were right there. Oh, I wouldn't. If I was a Texans fan, I would be livid.
Yeah, well,
so that's where it sounds crazy.
Well, now the businessman in me thinks, 8-team regular season and like NFL games, that's an extra home game. That fan's paying $120 for a nosebleed seat and not get to see my stars. I see the business side of it. Don't get me wrong, business side, it makes sense. Pay the players an extra $1 million to cover those 2 extra games, whatever. They will make that cash. But let me present to you this. And what if they didn't sit out 2 full games, but they could only play 64 quarters in the season. 64 quarters is 16
Okay.
times 4. So like you can still start Dak, but in the second quarter he has to like set out because
But no, you know what? That would make more sense. Like,
Yeah.
let's just say Cowboys are beating so you have to sit out 8 quarters.
Yeah.
So let's just say the Cowboys are beating the Buffalo Bills 31-10, and Dallas gets the ball at the beginning of the beginning of the fourth quarter. You tell Dak, hey, this is one of your 8 quarters. Cooper Rush, you're in, or Mike White, you're in.
Yeah. I mean,
that would be cool.
That would make a lot more sense.
What if? Okay, now would you? Man, you know what's funny is I'm totally agreeing with you at the beginning. This is asinine, crazy. The coaches already have enough to worry about. Fans, we have enough to worry about. I know that sounds crazy. We have enough to worry about. Now
it
we
would
got to
mess up
worry
my
about
fantasy team, man.
Yeah,
My
now we
fantasy
got
team
to
would be
worry
horrible.
about. Now we have to worry about load management. Yeah, fantasy teams and all that crap. What if they did it to where the NFL said quarterbacks are exempt from it, and kickers and punters. The kickers, punters are exempt from it. So the quarterback can play all 18 games,
Right.
but it's just everybody else. I mean, that's possible too. I mean, you never know, because quarterbacks are big money in the NFL.
Yeah.
Listen, we don't pay to see Brian Hoyer. We pay to see Tom Brady.
Right.
So that's huge. We can miss a Zach Martin here or there. I understand but I mean, I get that. Even though Zach Martin, I just told you, is on his way to the Hall of Fame in a little 5-year career already, but he is. But we don't pay to see Mike White. I don't pay to see AJ McCarron. The last time I wanted to see AJ McCarron was Alabama versus Clemson, and where he beat Deshaun Watson once. Did he? I think it was him. Who knows?
I don't think Deshaun Watson lost.
No, you know what?
College.
It wasn't him.
Yeah.
He beat. Oh my God, I'm already forgetting AJ. That's the last time I wanted to see AJ McCarron is
Right.
in an Alabama uniform. I think he won 2 national championships.
That sounds right.
So that's the last time I ever wanted to see AJ McCarron. Although it's funny I'll go on a little tidbit on AJ McCarron. He should have won a playoff game already for the Bengals. He actually was going to get that playoff win, and not Andy Dalton. I don't know. Do you remember that? They were about to win the game, and then Vontaze Burfict decided to do something real stupid, and it gave Pittsburgh the ball back. I think he tried to knock out Antonio Brown.
Yeah,
and so they got the 15-yard penalty. Pittsburgh got the ball back and kicked the game-winning field goal. AJ McCarron, all they had, if Vontaze Burfict doesn't do that, AJ McCarron has a playoff win,
right? And
not Andy Dalton. So, anyways, but I'm not paying to watch AJ McCarron if I'm a Texan fan. So let's just say the NFL does that, and they go ahead and make the quarterbacks and kickers exempt from that. I might be a little more in tune with that. That sounds a little better. But then you know what? Then the other part of me, I'm a stat guy, and so that would skew the stats.
Yeah, that's exactly where I was going to go with that.
Games, and the 5,000 yard quarterback is not the norm. I heard Dan Patrick say that about 4 years ago, that the 5,000 quarterback is going to be the norm, and I laughed in my car on the radio. I said, no, it's not. Even though they throw a lot, you still throw for 5,000 yards. That's pretty special.
Yeah.
That's over 315 yards a game average. So it's not going to be the norm. But you make it an 18-game schedule and the quarterbacks can play all 18, 5,000 yards will be the norm.
Yeah.
It'd be like if you don't get 5,000 yards in 18 games, now you've lessened that. Now you're talking about 275 a game. I have to do the math real quick. I'm usually good at numbers, but
that sounds about right.
That's a lot more doable. So there'll be a lot of 5,000 yard seasons. It's going to skew the stats long term. So no, I wouldn't even be in favor. I wouldn't even be in favor of that for the quarterbacks.
Yeah,
no, I wouldn't.
Yeah, I really feel like the 16-game season is pretty much spot on. You have 8 home games, 8 games on the road. The regular season ends before the new year starts. You roll into January. You're starting playoff games. Like my September to February is football, regular season, playoffs, and as much as I love the game, I think 18 games is just too much. I mean, I think 4 preseason games is way too much, and I think 16 regular season games is just about perfect. So don't mess with it.
Man, but I'm sometimes I'm like anything to eliminate the preseason games.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I think
like
you
the
need
first game.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
you need two of them. I just don't think that you need four from a fan's point of view. But that fourth game, pretty much the roster has been decided. Maybe they should just make it three.
You
It's
have a
just
couple like a couple of special team players trying to make the the last
right,
50-second guy, but that's
but
usually about
yeah,
it. Yeah.
right, and that's very rare. That's even rare too. Usually,
Yeah.
you ever watch that fourth preseason game? Every team
It's
is already set.
honestly it's
So
so horrible to watch.
yeah, I mean, and I'm one of those purists. Like I'm that fourth preseason game. You are watching a lot of college kids that this is going to be that we're in college, and this is going to be their last NFL game.
Yeah.
They're going to go do whatever their degree says. Work for a law firm, sell insurance or whatever. This is their last game. Even some kids that play for LSU and Alabama, sometimes their last game is that fourth preseason game, and they're done with football
Right.
because they find out that the speed of the game or the physicality of the game is actually too much, even if you played at Alabama or LSU or wherever. As a matter of fact, what's funny is in that AAF league, Birmingham, the Alabama team, they had like 3 or 4 Alabama offensive linemen starting for them.
Right.
So think about that for a second. Those Alabama offensive linemen weren't good enough to make it to the NFL, but they were all starting on the AAF team for the Birmingham club.
Right.
So it's not, man, making the NFL is not easy. I think we talked about that about a couple months ago.
I just want to add to your point there, though,
Yeah.
real quick. A lot of those players on those AAF teams, or even the players that are going to be on the XFL teams, they have the talent to be in the NFL. They don't have the work ethic, they don't have the study habits, and they don't have the confidence or the mental stamina
Yeah.
to withstand preparing for a NFL game.
I'll agree with you on some of those aspects of it. Some of those guys are talented enough to be there. They just didn't. It's between the years. That's
Yeah.
possible, but some are not though. So
Well, yeah, like I'm not saying that as all of them, but there are a lot of players from Alabama, LSU. It's just they have been so good for so long that they don't know how to work hard, and when times get tough, they're like their mindset. Oh, I'm not good enough. I'm going to take the easy way out almost.
yeah, man, I remember going to the store like a couple years ago, and I saw this giant white guy looking at magazines, fantasy football. I was like, damn, did he play? I mean, he was about 6'4", 330.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked him, I said, he's looking at fantasy football. I normally don't talk to anybody, but I asked him, I said, hey, did you play football in high school or something? He goes, dude, I started for Texas Tech for a few years. And I go, wow, you didn't try the NFL? And he goes, dude, I tried. I was at this training camp. I was at that training camp, dude. And those dudes are fast, big. Like, dude, it was unbelievable how tough it was. This was about maybe 10 years ago. And he was like, he was just amazed the level how you go up. He says high school to college. He told me high school to college was a big deal too, but the college to the NFL is like, man. He said everybody was a beast, man. Like, and it was hard. He got released a couple of times, and then after you get released a couple of times, he was like 25. He was just like, I'll go work with my dad at his, I'm gonna go work with my dad at his company. So he got his degree and everything, and I forgot his name. Damn, I used to know his name. But he started at Texas Tech as a monster. But I mean, it's hard to, it's the speed of the game and the physicality, and like you said though, sometimes those guys do have the talent, and it's just between the years they don't make it. You know what I mean? So yeah, but man, but you know what though? The opening the roster, if they do this, they cannot stay with a 53-man roster. So they're gonna have to open that stuff up to 65. I don't even think you can just do practice player. So that's gonna cost. If you're the NFL and the Players Association,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, you know what? You do that, and I need 12 more roster spots open at minimum wage. So let's say that's $500,000 a year.
Okay.
That's going to cost another $6 million in rosters. Now $6 million times 32. Okay, now that's going to cost. You're looking at $200 million more to player salaries. Now they're going to make that up with the TV money because 2 extra games. But
you also have to think about this. You are paying Ezekiel Elliott $8 million for a 16 game season. You have to pay him an extra $1 million. You have to pay Amari Cooper an extra $2 million. So that $200 million, that number that like you threw out, that's going to be $6 or $7 million, or six or $700 million.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't think about that, but I heard that they'll get $2.5 billion extra, the owners. Like
That's crazy, man. Damn.
yeah, because just 2 extra games on each. So it's all a money grab.
Oh yeah. I
And
mean,
then
that's
and,
simply the only reason for this is to
yeah,
bring more
it's a
ad
it's a
revenue in.
it's a money grab, and then to appease the players association, they go, oh well, you don't have to. Not everybody's going to play the extra 2 games. Only some. So so each player's still only going to play 16 games. That's how they appease the players association. So this is going to be interesting to see. I think it's crazy. We'll come full circle on it. You said asinine. I agree with you. But man, anything to get rid of 2 preseason games, I would have almost been all for. Yeah, I would have streaked at halftime of the Cowboys Giants game if you were to tell me that there'll be 2 less preseason games. I might even go that far.
Speaking
So
of
I'm just,
streakers, the
yeah, I would
last
just,
the last
yeah,
Kansas City Chiefs game I went to was Christmas Day. Kansas City Chiefs versus Denver Broncos. There was a streaker on the field. Just
yeah, dude.
little fun fact.
I have no idea why guys do that, man. I mean, what is the cause? See, if
I
you
don't know.
told me if you do this, Marcus, and you streak through Jerry World, that will eliminate 2 preseason games, okay, there's incentive. But these guys
There'll be
are
a
just
train of
doing
guys
it.
I bet following you too.
Yeah. I mean, what are they streaking for? Like, what are you doing, man? It's not a federal offense, or it's not a he's not going to get any jail time. But the next streaker spends 30 days in solitary confinement. I bet they don't streak anymore. Or we'll put them in general population with the gang members. How about that?
With no clothes on.
Yeah, with no clothes on, with Big Bubba. Yeah, and I bet nobody streaks anymore. And then we're gonna have that guy on national TV crying,
Right.
saying he had to spend a year with 60 months with Bubba, or 60 days with Bubba, and he said, "And man, please, man, don't streak anymore." He's gonna be crying, and it'll curtail all the other streakers.
It'll be must see TV on Good Morning America, right?
There you go. There you go. No more streakers, man.
Yeah, but so let's go ahead and move past that crazy 18-game season, and let's go ahead and jump into NFL game pick'ems. We are roughly, like I said, players start reporting to training camp tomorrow.
Yeah.
Season is roughly to about 2 months away until the first regular season.
I think it's 50 days away.
50 days away. So a little
50
under
days away.
2 months. So
yeah,
we are going to start with the Super Bowl champs, New England Patriots. Week 1, they play Pittsburgh Steelers at home. I got Pittsburgh winning that game. Who do you got?
I have New England winning that game because basically, you give Bill Belichick a couple of weeks to prepare, and he usually might beat you.
Yeah.
What's that famous line? He's going to beat you with his, and he's going to take his and beat you and then give you yours. And anyway, it's this old football line. I think it's at home, and then
yeah, it is at home.
You're almost it's at home, right? Okay.
Yeah.
You're almost preparing like almost all offseason to beat Pittsburgh pretty much. So I think they'll beat Pittsburgh. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers will miss Antonio Brown that first game. They're going to have to work the kinks out there. I think New England wins at home. I think this is one of those where home field advantage will mean a lot, especially week 1. If it was at Pittsburgh, I might choose Pittsburgh, but I'll go ahead and I'm going to choose New England here. It's going to be real interesting to see how New England performs this year, losing Rob Gronkowski and their defensive coordinator and stuff like that. They go through change every year, but it seems like they come through flying colors most of the time. But yeah, I'll go New England here.
Yeah, but also on the flip side of that coin, they usually struggle the first couple weeks of the season.
They do.
It is not uncommon to see them start 2-2 or 2-3.
That's true.
And Pittsburgh is not a division rival, so this game to them, they're going to hold the cards close to their chest because they might face the Pittsburgh Steelers in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah, and this is one of the best games out. I mean, right off the bat. I mean, we're talking this game's going to be 30-27. Whoever has the ball last, Ben Roethlisberger or Tom Brady's going to win this one. There's no blowouts in this one.
Yeah, you're 100% right. So week 2, they travel to Miami to face the division foe, Miami Dolphins. Who do you got?
New England again. This is Miami might go 5-11 this year. New England. This is, the only thing that might bother them a little bit, and it bothers everybody, is the heat in Miami in September and October. Usually bother teams. New England's used to it though. Actually, and I think New England struggled. Tom Brady at Miami, maybe be a 500 quarterback or something, but I think they get the job done here. They'll be 2-0.
Yeah, I was going back and forth on this game simply because of that, a bit because of the heat in Miami at this time of year. But I got to go New England. Dolphins are going to be horrible this year. You said five wins for them. I think that's a stretch. I think they'll get two or
Yeah.
three.
Hey,
They're gonna be a pretty
I
bad
was
year.
just
Yeah.
you probably could convince me for that. Yeah, I
Yeah.
was just throwing the five out there.
Right.
It
Right.
ain't gonna be much. Yeah.
So week 3, they're traveling back home versus the Jets. Who do you got on that one?
I gotta go New England again. I think the Jets will be much improved. We'll do the Jet schedule in a couple of days here. It's brutal the
Yeah.
first 5-6 weeks for the Jets. Um, so the Jets will probably have a terrible season again, just because of their first 5 or 6 games. But yeah, I got New England here um, again. So I got New England at 3-0. They'll beat the Jets, the improved Jets.
Yes, very, very much improved Jets. I also have the Patriots in this game, even though I was going back and forth on this, simply because of the statement that I made earlier, is that the Patriots usually start slow. They're 2-2, 2-3, but right now I have them sitting at a 2-1 standpoint, going to Buffalo in Week 4. Who do you got in that one?
This might sound crazy, but I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take Buffalo at home to give New England their first loss. You know, like you said, they normally start 2-2. Um, they don't jump out right at the gate and start destroying teams. I think Buffalo gets them. I think Josh Allen's going to have a bounce back year this year. I think he's a good quarterback. I think a lot of people are poo pooing on Josh Allen, kid out of Wyoming who they took number 1 last year,
Yeah.
and I think he's better than what people think. Okay, I don't think he's going to be Drew Brees and Dan Marino reincarnated, but I don't think he's a bad quarterback. I think they Buffalo wins this one and gets this one right now. Um, yeah, I got Buffalo in this one.
I have to agree with you on the Josh Allen uh, talk there. I think he will be a top 15 quarterback by the year's end. He'll have a full two NFL seasons under his belt. But I think the Patriots beat the Bills. I think Sony Michel is really going to start hitting his
Yeah,
hitting his stride. The Bills defense as they are pretty
yeah,
good, but they're going to be worried about the passing game early in the season because Tom Brady's
and
arm will still be healthy and strong.
right.
They're going to run him and going to kill him on the ground.
And let me say this. I'm never usually one that ever says this. To be honest, like people have a cupcake schedule or things like that, or it's an easy schedule. People love to say that. Usually fans, and I understand that sometimes to a certain extent. But the NFL is an 8-8 league.
Yeah,
I mean, everybody can usually gives it their all. They're usually there's no tanking in the NFL. I mean, everybody, these are grown men out there busting their ass, and so I'm never one for it to say like easy schedule, a cupcake schedule, and all that. Every game takes on its own identity. I'm not a big fan in momentum, so but man, New England schedule, and we're gonna keep going through it. Man, I mean, I don't see conflict games. Week 1 is right.
right.
But I don't see anything. I mean, I don't see anything in their schedule. The first, like, if anybody was ever going to say easy schedule, God with New England, I might have to agree that's one of the rare exceptions I would agree with. I mean, there's no conflict like, oh man, that game, can't miss that game. I
Yeah.
can miss all these New England games except Pittsburgh. But go ahead. So far, this is kind of an easy schedule.
Yeah. So we break I break the system, or I break the NFL schedule into four parts: first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth
Right.
quarter. The first four weeks, I have Patriots going 3-1, and you had the same.
Yeah.
Like on that. This is
Right.
above their standards so far. So week 5 they travel to the Washington Redskins. What are you thinking on this game?
I think it's another win. I think they'll be facing a rookie quarterback in Dwayne Haskins, which I think that's a mistake, by the way.
Starting
I'm
him?
one of those. Yeah, no, I don't like starting any rookie quarterback. I'm one of those guys. I'm gonna go on record here. I don't like it. I wish that every rookie quarterback would have a redshirt year and just watch. It helped out Steve McNair, Aaron McNair. He watched. It helped out Philip Rivers. He watched. Um, I'm not for just throwing the rookie in the fire with all this stuff coming at him. I want them to watch from the sideline, maybe get in some spot duty.
Yeah.
But if I can avoid playing my rookie quarterback, I will. Now, if you can't avoid it, right? And Haskins is your best player, and Alex Smith is not ready to go, or whoever they got in free agency, his name is eluding me right now. Did they get little number Case Keenum? I'm not sure who they. I forgot, but I know Alex Smith. Alex Smith looks like he could be ready to go week 1.
Yeah. Case
So
Keenum,
even if they got Case Keenum, Alex Smith is the guy. So, Case Keenum went to the Vikings. But anyways, so it's Alex Smith. So I would start Alex Smith. I mean, the wheels would have to fall off for Alex Smith for the Redskins for me to play Dwayne Haskins. So I think the Redskins are a stupid organization. Although I think the pick for Dwayne Haskins was a good pick at the 15th overall selection. But I think they'll throw Dwayne Haskins in there in the fire, do something really stupid, and I think it'll be Dwayne Haskins. And I think New England gets them. They'll beat them that week as well.
Yeah. Just to add to your Alex Smith point there, I don't think he is cleared for football duty yet because of that staph infection he got in his leg after he broke it in week 10 or like week 11. But we will cover the Washington Redskins schedule, but I want to touch on that real fast. Haskins is in a pretty good situation because he gets to learn from Alex Smith. Alex Smith is a pro's pro. He taught Patrick Mahomes how to be a professional athlete. He taught Colin Kaepernick how to be a professional athlete. Yes, he gets overshadowed because he is a game manager. He does not win you games, but he doesn't lose you games either. But he knows how to prepare. So Haskins does have a very good mentor and a very good teacher that has taught 2 other quarterbacks how to be professional athletes, even though some of them don't take very good saying that, aka Colin Kaepernick. But I have Patriots winning this game versus the Washington as well. And then we move over to the New York Football Giants in Week 6. Who do you got in that one?
Another tough game, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, this is an easy schedule so far. And like I said, I don't say that lightly. This is the NFL where everybody can beat you on any given Sunday. But man, this schedule so far, another win easily. I don't even want to go over the Giants. They're pathetic.
The only way the Giants have a chance in this game versus the Patriots is if they bench Eli Manning, and I don't see that happening. They are riding him till he retires. So I got the Patriots in this one as well.
Yeah.
Next up, we got at the New York Jets in week number 7. Who do you got on this one?
Okay. The New England Patriots went 5-1 last year. They usually dominate their division.
Right.
They might have a hiccup here or there. Usually they go 5-1. So I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to take the Jets. That's already 2 division losses. I have them. I'm going to go at Jets. Jets get payback right here at home.
Yeah. Just because of your stat that you said there, they have been dominating that division year in and year out. I got to go with the Patriots in this one because there is a little bit of fear factor in there. When you see Bill Belichick when his hoodie could have just like staying there. It reminds me of the water boy when that coach is holding the play the play.
Right.
And they're just scared. So I got the Patriots in that one. Now this game is kind of intriguing. This week 8 matchup. They take on Cleveland Browns at home. Who do you got on that one?
Man, I love the Cleveland Browns. I'm on the Browns bandwagon. Go ahead and put me on there as far as them making the playoffs this year. This is going to be a barn burner right here, and I think the Cleveland Browns will beat the New England Patriots. At where are they playing at Foxborough now? Gillette, whatever the hell it's called.
Gillette Stadium, I think. So.
Yeah, Gillette.
Foxborough, Massachusetts.
Yeah, so I got Cleveland going into Gillette and winning this game. So the next Brett Favre, Baker Mayfield plays for the Cleveland Browns,
right?
And so it's going to be a gunslinger game. This game's another one. It's going to be like the Pittsburgh game, talking 33-30, who has the ball last, and I'll take Baker Mayfield. In a shootout here.
So I had the Browns as well, not because of the shootout factor, but because this next group of games, the Patriots are going to hold their cards really close to their chest. It seems like every year the Patriots kind of step back against these possible playoff teams. They did it against the Chiefs this past year, and they just basically they they just put out their basic offense.
Right.
They don't show you a whole lot. Many people are picking the Browns to make to the playoffs, and so for that reason, I'm picking them to win this game because the Patriots are going to take a step back and like let the hype build around the Browns and then go crush them in the playoffs. Next up, they travel to Baltimore in Week 9.
Another loss for your New England Patriots. I think this is the year where they're if Gronk doesn't play,
Yeah,
I think this is the year the wheels kind of fall off a little bit for New England. I'm now, I mean, everybody. It seems like a lot of TV pundits and Max Kellerman has always been predicting like, oh, when did the wheels fall off of Tom Brady? He said that like 3 years ago, right? It still hasn't happened. But this might be the year without Gronk. And what Tom Brady, damn, he's like 40, going to be 42 or something. It's kind of, I mean, to put in perspective, when Brady was born, I was 3, I think. You know what I mean? So I mean, he's getting up there in age.
Right.
Like, that's crazy to me. Like he's still there. Like he's still performing. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna take Baltimore at Baltimore. Defense is gonna sack Brady. They're gonna get after him, and it's gonna be a low scoring game. All right, so I think Baltimore will win this baby. Like you're talking 17-13.
So you would have the Patriots losing a 3-game skid there for a first time I could remember in a long time, and then they would travel into a much needed bye week before going back on the road to play Philadelphia. Highest rated team in Madden, by the way. If you guys don't play Madden, you probably should. I think they're like 97 or team overall. But who you got winning that game?
Man, I'm going Philly again. I mean, I'm going Philly. I'm going New England loses again. This is a bad year. This is going to be a bad year for New England. I haven't really taken a look at it. Their cupcake schedule was they better start off 5-1 because they're 4-1 or something because they're about to go into a bad stretch here. So let me backcheck on my cupcake schedule. I really didn't, but the first week, I would say you did
first half of the season's weak.
Yeah, first part of the season. The second half is wow. So I'm gonna go Philly here. I got Philly winning this one. I think New England takes a big dive here. Brady could possibly be knocked out of this game, and we're looking at Brian Hoyer. That's how good the Eagles are. That's how good the Ravens have been on defense. I got them losing again.
Yeah, I picked New England in this game because I can never bet against Bill Belichick coming off a bye bye week, and if they go in those 3 straight losses, I don't think they lose a 4th one in a row. So I'm picking New England. Next up, we have our Dallas Cowboys at Foxborough. Who do you got in that one?
I'll take New England in this one. I know it sounds crazy. I think this is one of Dallas's losses. So New England wins this game. Dallas up until this point will have had a pretty good season. And so, you're just due for a loss. New England, I've got them losing a bunch of games in a row. Everybody, it'll be like doom and gloom in New England, and it'll be, is this the year they don't make the playoffs? They probably won't, or it's going to be a wild card situation. So let's go. Yeah, I'm gonna go New England here at Dallas.
Yeah. So, like I said earlier, these playoff teams, they hold their cards close to their chest. Even though the Cowboys are in the NFC, they're in the AFC, they're still going to hold their cards close to the chest. You had New England losing 3 games in a row earlier. This is where their skid starts for like me. This is where they lose 3 games in a row. I have the Cowboys beating the Patriots in Foxborough, and the Cowboys will be skating pretty high after this game because at this point I have the Patriots at a 2-loss team. And
by the way, this is the worst division in football this year.
Yeah. So
the winner of this division will be 8-8 or 9-7.
But they'll still get that home game, so they won't have to worry about a wild card traveling.
God, I hate that. Yeah. I wish you know what? If they want to change rules, let's change that one. Remember a few years back, what was it? How about Seattle won the division at 7-9?
Or how about this last year when the Chargers were 12-3 or 13-3 and they were at 5th seed?
That doesn't make any sense to me. But the most egregious is when do you remember Marshawn Lynch's great run against the Saints where he was knocking people down?
Yeah.
Okay, that was a 7-9 Seattle team beat like a 10-6 New Orleans team in Seattle. Why was that game in Seattle? They weren't even 500, but they won. They won their division at 7-9.
Right.
It's ridiculous. They should be the. They want to
Yeah,
start changing rules. You have to be at least 9-7 to get a home playoff game. At least 9-7 or something like that. They need to start changing these rules
yeah,
on that.
I
You
do
can't
agree with
be eight
that.
and eight. Like this year, AFC's winner might be 8-8. They should not get a home game. So let's just. Well, but that's another tangent. Okay, where are we at now?
We're at Houston.
Oh my God, that's a complete loss. They're
I,
going to go off the
I have that
Cowboy.
too.
Yeah,
Yep.
it is rowdy in Houston. I don't know if you've ever been to a game, but man, we turn it up there, man. You can't even the quarterback usually when Houston's going can't hear. They got it's a dome. They got the quarterback cannot hear. We make it really tough on him. Why do you think J.J. Watt's had so much success? He's a hell of a player, but I mean, dude, the
Right.
quarterback can't hear it. It's yeah. So I'll go Houston with this one.
I have Houston winning that game as well. Then they go back home versus my Kansas City Chiefs. Who do you got in that one?
Wow. I'm gonna go payback. I got the Chiefs going into Gillette and winning. This, you know, payback the D Ford game.
I have the Chiefs winning this game as well because the Patriots are going to hold their cards close to their chest. This is a possible second round playoff opportunity game here, and they don't want to show them what they got. And then the Patriots travel to Cincinnati. Who do you got winning that one?
Wow. I'll go. Where do we have the Patriots at? What is their record now?
Right now, you have them at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You have them 6-7 as of right now.
Yeah, I think they beat. I think they beat the Bengals. They'll be 7-7.
Yeah, I have them beating the Bengals as well. Bengals are going to be horrible. I believe Andy Dalton is still hurt, so he won't even be 100% the whole season, and he's not very good anyways. Then they travel back home to play the Buffalo Bills. Who do you got?
I got them beating Buffalo. This is where they'll win their division at 9-7.
Yeah,
I think.
go
Yeah.
ahead. Yeah, I have them
They'll
beating
beat
them
Buffalo.
as well. Yeah. Um, After their 3-game losing streak, I have them winning 3 more games, beating Cincinnati, beating the Bills, and finish the season off to win the division
Right.
at 11-5, beating Miami at home. Who do you got in that Miami game?
I got them. I got them beating Miami. I have them winning the division at 9-7. They're going to take a step back. They went 11-5 last year, and this team is not as good as that team that went 11-5. So I've got what do I have them at 9-7?
9-7.
They win the division at 9-7, and they'll probably get a home game.
Yeah.
So, and let me just say this about their schedule: it's kind of cupcake. Then it's middle. Let me tell you something. Week 8, Cleveland, Baltimore, Philly, Dallas, Houston, Kansas City. That 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stretch of games. They're going to go 1-5 in that, and that's where you'll see they'll go 1-5 or even. It seems unfathomable to see them go 0-6 in that stretch, but that is a murder row as good as that. That's as tough a schedule as anybody will have in the National Football League. The thing that where it's going to save them, where they're going to win the division, is they're going to get off to a good start, and they're going to end really well.
Yeah,
So I have them at 9-7.
I actually have them going 2-4 in that stretch from the Cleveland to Kansas City game. So I think we both agree on that. The only really things we have towards there is you have them losing early to the Bills. I believe it was the Bills. Yeah, you have them losing early to the
Buffalo.
Bills, and so that's really the only thing where we kind of question each other a little bit. But I mean, this team ran through Tom Brady. So is this the year that he falls off? Who knows?
He's going to fall off a little bit.
Yeah.
He will not. He's not going to be.
He's going to miss Gronk, but
he's going to miss Gronk.
But Gronk is going to come back in the second half of the year. Look for him to sign that week that they play the Cowboys or the Houston.
That's possible. And have you seen Gronk recently?
I have not.
He ended the season at 275.
Yeah.
He hasn't hit the weights at all. He's like 250.
Really?
Yeah. So he slimmed down. Now that's an average tight end, about 250.
Yeah.
So if he really wants to get back in it, man, I mean, it's hard just to go, from your couch to the weight room, after, and then all of a sudden to the football field. So I think he's coming back too, but I don't think it's easy as what people think. But he's lost a lot of. He looks like he's lost about 20 pounds.
Yeah, but that also could help him too, because he has a lot of wear and tear on the body.
Right.
Carrying that 280 pound frame alone,
Right.
it just wears on your body.
No,
But his biggest asset was people could not drag down his 280-pound
right.
ass. He could carry 34 guys. So
Yeah, and I love the Keneal Henry pick. Keneal Henry pick from Arizona State, their first round pick. I think that's going to help Brady a lot. But see, you have them going 11-5. That's what they went last year. I just
yeah,
don't think they're as good. I'm looking at a 10-6 season or a 9-7 season, and they'll win the division. And it's the worst division. Look, I'll just say right now, we'll go through all the other games. I mean, New England will be, and Buffalo. It's Buffalo could be 8-8. The Jets could be 7-9, 8-8. So I mean, it's probably a couple of 7-9s, and then Miami will be. You said 2-14. I said 5-11. How about we meet in the middle and just 3-13 or 4-12? I mean,
that's
so
fine
it's
with
the
me.
worst division.
Right.
Yeah, it's the worst division in football. So I have the New England Patriots winning the worst division in football at 9-7, and taking a step back. And then they're going to get that home playoff game, and we'll see who they play.
Yeah.
I don't see them even winning their home playoff game, because the team that will go to Gillette will
Chargers.
probably be 10-6 or
Yep.
11-5 or 12-4 and be better than them. So
It is going to be the Chargers, or it's going to be the Houston Texans or the Colts. So
yeah,
take your three picks there.
They're going to get their butts kicked at Gillette in Wild Card Weekend.
All right, guys. So that's going to be it for today's show. Join us tomorrow as we cover the Buffalo Bills. We do the same thing as we did with the Patriots. And if any more NFL news decides to pop up on us, we'll definitely cover that as well. But guys, as always, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Share with a couple friends, and we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one.